what would you have asked Mitt Romney that would have completely destroyed him and his credibility? And what would you have asked Newt Gingrich in the same way, please?
All right, I would look at that a little differently. First, I don't believe anything that you could bring up would actually embarrass the actual followers, the true believers, either to the individual, to any of the candidates, because if they're die-hard Republicans, if they're going to believe that any challenge to them is just an ad hominem attack by the liberals. So those people you're not going to move, no matter what you give. For example, how can Newt Gingrich, who's cheated on his wives, turn around and claim to be, a pillar of moral standing within their very conservative religious community? So they have to overlook all that, as they have on other issues. With Mitt Romney, and these people, it's not about getting their supporters to re-examine the legitimacy of their candidate, but it's for everyone else. With Romney, I would have asked him this. I would have said, is it true? Just a short yes or no. It's either true or it's not true. Were you a principal major owner of Bain Capital? B-A-I-N, Bain Capital.
Right.
He'll say yes or no. If he says no, I have proof that he is and was. That's how he made hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, what exactly did Bain Capital do? Then I would ask him this. Is it true that in 1988, you laid down just $5 million to buy Stage Stores, and then you collected $100 million in stock offerings, but that loaded that company up with so much debt, it went bankrupt in 2000? Yes or no? $5 million got you $100 million. But all those employees lost their job. It's yes or no. Yes, it was $5 million, or no, it wasn't. How difficult is that? He would have had to have said yes, he put up $5 million, and yes, he made $100 million from 5. But it cost the company. Then I would say, is it true that in 1992 you bought American Pad and Paper, AMPAD, you put $5 million in, and again you got $100 million from dividends, but they also went bankrupt in 2000. It's either yes or no. And it would have to be yes. And then in 1993, did you invest $60 million by buying GS Industries, and did you not receive $65 million in dividends? Oh, and didn't they go bankrupt in 2001? And isn't it true that in 1997 you invested $47 million and you bought Details, and you made $93 million in your stock offering? Oh, and didn't they go broke in 2003, bankrupt? So isn't it true that just 5 businesses, just 5, there are more, I'm just saying 5, that you made over $578 million, and all those went bankrupt, and thousands of employees lost their livelihoods? Wow. Weren't you also responsible for leading the equity partnership? Do you know what an equity partnership is?
Not really, actually. No.
Okay. An equity partnership works this way. Let's say that you, Elizabeth, you have a company that's been in your family making blue jeans for 80 years.
Right.
And you have 100 employees. But you've practiced good marketing and manufacturing standards. Your employees are paid a living wage and get health benefits. They work in a clean and healthy environment. You're not exploiting labor. And you build up a good reputation. So let's say Mitt Romney comes along through his Bell Capital, and they see that you are ripe for the picking. So they go to you. You're making $10 million a year in profit, net profit, after tax profit. They say, we're going to buy you. We're going to give you $50 million. Wow, $50 million? So you think, well, that's good. And you get to stay on in the company. Get to stay as president of the company. And all your employees can stay. You think, what's the catch? Well, the catch is no catch. We're just investing in important companies. But there is a catch. He doesn't tell you. What happens is he goes to Goldman Sachs. And by the way, Goldman Sachs was one of the companies that his company, Bain Investments, used all the time. And Goldman Sachs looks at the paperwork and says, man, this is good for the taking. So Goldman Sachs gives them a bridge loan. So they put down just a little bit of money. There's the scam. They never put up big money. They put down a little bit of money, enough to take control. So they get the title. They now own your company. They are the majority stockholders. They're now the policymakers. Then that money doesn't go into that account as such. Instead, immediately, you get your money. You just sold your company, right?
Right.
You get to stay on for, as president. But almost immediately, they start using every possible credit source to boost up your sales and borrow against it. They borrow $50 million, $100 million. The company that is loaning the money takes 10% off the top, a high amount, a premium fee. And plus they get a certain amount of stock that they can pump and dump. Immediately they're not restricted stock. A restricted stock means you have to wait 2 years before you can sell it back in the market.
Right.
They don't have restrictions. So now here's your company that now has $100 million in debt. And where'd all that money go? All the money went to Bain and his partners as dividends. So now they have $50 million in their pocket. And they haven't done a thing except take your company over. But guess who owes the money? Your company. So now they come in and say, we've got to slash wages, slash benefits. There's a pension fund over here. We're going to use it. But that's the employees' retirement pensions. I know, but we can use it. It's ours, technically and legally. And we can have these pants made in China for $3 a pair. Here there's $22 a pair. That gives us a 700% savings. So then first you cut back all your employees, you cut back all their benefits, you sell off profitable divisions. Next thing you know, your company's closed down and it's now opened up under a different name in China and still selling the product, but now it's gone bankrupt, so they don't owe the $100 million. So they walked away completely debt-free. That's what these people do. That's what Mitt Romney did. Mitt Romney could be disgraced as a person that has caused thousands of people to lose their jobs. He has caused them to... He takes money from people he's never worked a day in his life. He knows nothing about what it is to own an actual business. And remember, he is in the casino capitalism part of Wall Street. They make money, off deals. Whoever can create the most debt wins because they can buy their competition. And that's Mitt Romney.
Right. It's
okay?
Criminal. I mean.
And yet these people, the Diane Sawyers, they throw them idiotic questions. It's an embarrassment. I won't watch that kind of program.